the Social Security bait and switch is actually a whole lot better for the entire senior population aged 65 and over. I've received a number of questions around this, and I want to clarify for you here in this video, and the massive price tag on this that is actually good for a lot of seniors. Of course, not everybody, but I'm going to clarify it for you here in this video because it's a lot better than the alternative that they originally floated as far as what they wanted to do for seniors and those people that are 65 and over on Social Security. But this is actually a way better solution. It reaches all seniors age 65 or over, at least a huge percentage of them, and I'll clarify all of that for you here in this video. And again, like I said, we've got a lot to talk about. All right, now first off, let's quickly talk about what is the bait and switch, and then I'll talk about this huge dollar amount that they gave essentially to seniors 65 and over that is available for them. And I'll also talk about all the parameters around this, how you can grab it, the eligibility for this. It's not that hard. I'll tell you all the details about it. Okay, so for the last maybe, I don't know, year and a half or so, the president was out talking about, obviously, it was before he was even president. I totally understand that. I'm just saying, for probably the last year and a half, what was the main point that we heard coming out of the current president? No more taxes on Social Security, right? We've been hearing this for a very long time. Well, guess what? They did not eliminate taxation of Social Security monthly benefits, right? We know this, and I've been saying this for a very long time. Even before they passed this huge multi-trillion-dollar reconciliation bill a few months ago that was signed into law on the 4th of July by the president, again, leading up to that, I said they cannot eliminate taxation on Social Security benefits within this bill because it's a reconciliation bill, and Social Security cannot be touched within reconciliation bills. It's the rule. It's the law. They can't do it, okay? So as we were leading up to that, I was like, hey, they're not going to do this. They can't. They legally cannot do this. So just be prepared. This talk about no more tax on Social Security is not going to come into fruition, okay? And they recognize that as well. Even though they continue to say, oh, we're going to eliminate taxation on Social Security, they didn't and they couldn't, okay? But instead, what they did is they bait and switched us. And like I said, I'm using this negative connotation like, oh, they bait and switched us. But honestly, it's actually better for seniors to do this because it reaches everybody across the board, or at least the vast majority of seniors, 65 and over, versus the alternative, which was no more taxes on Social Security. Okay, so just let me clarify what this is. So as a concession within this massive reconciliation bill, again, this was a few months ago now, so I'm not acting like it's current right now. It was a few months ago, just trying to clarify this because I've had people asking me questions around this. But anyway, as a concession of no more taxes on Social Security, what they did is they offered a $6,000 temporary deduction on your federal tax return for any senior aged 65 and over. Individuals, you can grab it. Married couples, you can grab it, okay? It's available. However, there are some income thresholds around this, which I will point out for you here in just a second. They're not, super low, but also not super high. This will encompass the vast majority of seniors. Now remember, somebody would pay taxation on the Social Security benefit based on their provisional income, in other words, their income aside, in conjunction with their Social Security benefit. And then if those thresholds are at certain levels, then either 50% of their monthly benefit is taxable or 85% of their monthly benefit is then taxable. Okay, I've covered all that before in other videos. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole right here. There's just a lot of information there, and this video would get very long. I don't want to do that right now, but just we can talk about that in an upcoming video if you'd like me to. Drop a comment down below. Let me know if you want me to talk about that. I can certainly make another video. Not a problem. But anyway, then a senior would pay taxes on their monthly benefit in that situation, okay? But instead of doing that, what they did is they brought in this $6,000 deduction that seniors would be able to claim on their federal tax return when they go to file taxes that would reduce their taxable income, okay? Above and beyond, by the way, the standard deduction. Remember, the standard deduction right now is available, again, for everybody. It's over $15,000 per person in 2025. A married couple, it's over $30,000 as the standard deduction. Now, what they did with this $6,000 deduction is they made it available just for seniors aged 65 and over. You need to be 65 for at least one day in 2025 to be eligible to grab it in 2025. Does that make sense? So, quick example being, If you turn to 65 on January 1st of 2025, you're 65 for the entire year, obviously. If you turn 65 on, say, August 1st, you're 65 for the entire year in the eyes of the government. If you turn 65 on December 31st, 2025, you're 65 for the entire year in the eyes of the government. That's all that matters, okay? So even in that case, you'd be 65 for one day of the year, but in the eyes of the government and on a tax return, you are 65 for the entire year. That's awesome, right? Anyway, so this $6,000 deduction is above and beyond the standard deduction. So for example, an individual, $15,000 standard deduction plus $6,000 bonus deduction for seniors. Again, $21,000 of deductions. In other words, the first $21,000 of income that person would not have a single penny of taxes. Not bad, right? That's amazing. That's amazing. $21,000, not a single penny of taxes on that first 21 grand. That's really awesome. A married couple, again, 65 and over, would be able to take this. Again, standard deduction over 30 grand. Both of them being 65 plus, $12,000, $6,000 a person. That'd be $42,000. The first 42 grand of income for a married couple, not a penny of taxes to be paid. That's amazing, right? That's amazing right there for seniors, okay? But there are some income thresholds. Let me tell you what they are. An individual, $75,000 or less in 2025 would be able to take the entire $6,000 deduction, okay? There is a phase out on that. If your income is above 75 grand a year as an individual, then your $6,000 would be phased out very slowly over the next $100,000 above 75 grand, okay? As a married couple, you can earn up to $150,000 in 2025 and still get the entire $6,000 per person deduction, $12,000 for the married couple without any phase out. But if you earn over 150 grand, then it's going to phase out slowly over the next $100,000 that you earn up to 250 grand, and then it phases out completely, okay? But that's what that is. Not sure about I'm not sure about you. I don't know any seniors age 65 and over that are earning 250 grand or more. I don't even know any that are earning 150 grand, to be honest with you. So I think this can encompass a huge percentage of seniors. Now, the reason that I said that this is awesome for virtually all seniors versus a small group of seniors, as I mentioned earlier, here's the details behind this. Check this out. If they would have eliminated taxes on Social Security benefits, that only would have impacted between 30 to 35 million seniors in total. That's it. 30 to 35 million seniors would have paid taxes on their Social Security benefit and would have been impacted by that, okay? It's a lot of people. However, in this case, every senior 65 and over who has an income within the threshold, which is like virtually everybody. Obviously, there's a few out there that earn more than that, but virtually everybody 65 and over can take advantage of this. That number is significantly higher than 30 to 35 million seniors, okay? We're talking like double that, people that'd be able to take advantage of this. So anybody 65 or over, they could be 65, they could be 66, 69, 70, 72, 80, 85, 90. They could be 105 years old and still take advantage of this. Amazing, right? So anyway, all I'm saying is that this is way more impactful for seniors collectively, 65 and over, versus just like 30, 35 million people on Social Security that would have been impacted by no more taxation on Social Security benefits, if that makes sense, right? So collectively, overall, this is a better thing for the entire senior population, okay? Now, one thing I want to point out, okay, I should have mentioned this earlier in the video. I've seen this comment down below a couple times. Well, it's actually, honestly, it's more than a couple times. I've seen a few people reach out saying, this does nothing for me. I don't file a tax return. You're right. It doesn't do anything for you. But guess what also would not have done anything for you? Whether they would have eliminated taxes on Social Security benefits completely, or they do the $6,000 deduction. Doesn't matter. If your income is low enough where you don't file a tax return, it would have zero consequence for you no matter what they did. I'm just being honest with you, just being real, okay? So even though this $6,000 deduction does not impact somebody that does not file a tax return, you're right, it doesn't. But it also does not impact somebody who does not file a tax return if they would have eliminated taxes on Social Security benefits, because your income is low enough anyway, you would have had no impact whatsoever. No matter how you cut it, you wouldn't have been impacted. It would have done nothing for you, regardless of what they did. Okay, I'm just saying, I'm just making a point there so that, I've seen some people that are very upset by this saying, this does nothing for me. You're right. Doesn't matter what they would have done as far as eliminating taxes or giving a deduction, it still would have done nothing for you. Okay, just being real with you. But anyway, as I mentioned, this is better for seniors collectively as a whole. For seniors across the board, 65 plus, they can grab this and take advantage of it for the next 4 years, 2025, 2026, 2027, 2028. That's when it's in effect. 2029, no longer in effect. Okay, goes back, reverts back to the other deduction, which would be about $1,500 at that time, not $6,000. All right, anyway, drop some comments down below. Let me know what you want me to clarify on. I can certainly come back in a separate video. I can jump on a live stream, whatever you want from me, let me know. I can certainly do that for you. No problem whatsoever, okay? By the way, if you're 65, if you're turning 65 soon, or if you're currently on Medicare, that phone number right there is by far your best resource. Nearly 5,000 people here in this community have called that phone number right there to get some free help with their Medicare plans, find a better plan, get better coverages, make sure that you're properly covered and not at risk of a massive medical bill, and also saving a ton of money. The average person here in this community calling that phone number right there completely 100% for free to have a short phone call, a short review is saving $1,100 after making the quick call. It's incredible. Ken Johnson, he reached out. He's saving $174 a month. It's over $2,000 a year. Harold L. is saving $79 a month. That's about $1,000 a year. Miriam McGee is saving $1,200 a year, and that's about, it is $100 per month, okay? Ed Fitzgerald, he reached out. He's saving $170 a month. That's about $2,000 a year. Again, these people are just the ones I can think of that called that phone number. Those are just some of the names I can think of off the top of my head that gave specific dollar amounts as far as how much they're saving. It's incredible, okay? Anyway, call them. After you do, drop a comment down below on any video. Just make sure to use the word chapter within your comment. That's the keyword I searched for, by the way. And I'll give you a shout out and feature you in an upcoming video, just like I did these individuals I just mentioned a second ago. I've been giving shout outs to a lot of people recently in videos. All right, anyway, please have a nice day. Subscribe down below if you're new here, 100% free. Big subscribe button down below. Please share the video, big share button down below. Please feel free to like the video, thumbs up button down below as well if you want. Otherwise, check out the nearly 6,000 videos here on the channel in the video library. The popular videos I've hand selected for you down below in the description or the video library. Otherwise, have a nice day. Take care.